Okay, good afternoon, Mayor.
Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order,
I take a roll call.
please.
Commissioner Joseph,
Here.
Vice Mayor Lama,
Here.
Commissioner Stuyvesant, Commissioner Viscara,
Here.
and Mayor Svechin.
Here.
Have a quorum.
Great, wonderful. If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Toby, would you lead us, please, in the Pledge of Allegiance? Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
And to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have an invocation from Rabbi Amar.
Good evening. I'd like to start with the act of charity and give this charity box to the city.
Yes.
And this becomes a place of not only prayer, action, and good deeds. As the world is sinking into darkness, and we're trying to fight in order to bring some light, I would like to bless the mayor, the vice mayor, the commissioners, and everyone present in this government body, that God Almighty should give you the right inspiration to guide, to better this city, and to make it a city that is an example to the world on what it means to stand for truth, to stand for the right thing. And may God give you the strength and the inspiration to be an inspiration for all the different governments to follow and do the same. And I want to thank you for everything that you're doing and the way that you're really making this city a city which is exceptional in every regard, not only in its beauty, but in everything that you offer the city. I just want to mention something I mentioned last time, and I've been getting from the mayor a few messages on how you do get involved in education, and I was very, very excited to see how the city is involved in trying to do things for our children and the next generation. So thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you. The opening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate your attendance and thank you for joining us tonight. Before we begin, there are a few important reminders regarding conduct during our commission meetings. Please ensure all electronic devices are turned off or set to silent mode to maintain the integrity of our proceedings. Mutual respect is the foundation of productive discussions. We ask that everyone remain silent and attentive when someone is addressing the commission. Clapping, applauding, heckling, or any verbal outbursts, either in support or opposition of the speaker, are strictly prohibited. Any individual wishing to address the commission must fill out a public speaker's card and submit it to the city clerk before the relevant item is announced. Each speaker is granted a maximum of 3 minutes. Should you exceed this time, the chair will notify you to conclude your remarks. Speak directly to the agenda's points. Remain concise and avoid redundancy. Should an individual speak without the chair's permission or continue speaking after a warning, they may be escorted out of the chambers. It is essential to avoid making impertinent, slanderous remarks or becoming boisterous while addressing the commission. Such behavior may lead to being barred from future commission appearances, unless the majority of the commission members present vote otherwise. The presiding officer may disallow signs or placards in the commission chamber. Please exit the chamber quietly and without disruption. The goal of our meetings is to facilitate public input and participation. However, disruptive or disorderly conduct hinders our collective objective. Individuals who want to speak on an item on the agenda are asked to fill out a public speaker's card and give it to the city clerk before the item is called. Speakers are asked to speak to the issues, make comments concise and to the point, and refrain from making duplicate comments. All speakers will be limited to 1 3-minute comment per item. If you exceed the 3-minute allotment, the chair will advise you to finish your comment. If you speak out of turn without permission from the chair and/or you do not cease speaking after 1 warning, you will be escorted out of chambers. In order to maintain orderly conduct and/or proper decorum at these meetings, anyone who interferes with the orderly process of the meetings after a warning may be removed from the meeting and may be barred from further appearance before the City Commission, as permitted in S-286, 0114, FS and SS 74-5 and 74-21 of the City's Code of Ordinances. Any necessary removal will be made at the direction of the mayor and will be carried out by law enforcement or designated sergeant at arms. It is essential that attendees adhere to these rules of procedure to ensure productive meetings that serve both the public and the City Commission. Thank you for your cooperation and understanding.
Great. Thank you, Marlene. So I just want to reiterate what everyone just saw. Please remember that we have decorum in these chambers. Please be respectful. You have 3 minutes to speak if you fill out a speaker's card. If you are not certain if you're going to speak, I encourage you to please fill out the card anyways, and then you could just decide that you're not going to speak. Our clerk is under the weather, so we have our assistant clerk here, so please be kind and follow the rules. Goes for everyone here on the dais as well. And welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay, so first order is approval of the minutes. I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Great, great. So before we begin, as many of you know, I just got back from Israel on a trip that I went with the mayors from around the country, invited by the Combat Anti-Semitism Movement, and Lisa Katz was here, was with the Chief Government Affairs Officer, invited me. Thank you. I also want to acknowledge Annabelle Limatab, Vice Mayor of Hollandale, that's here. Thank you for being here. And so I wanted to make sure that even though it was not an official city trip, I did go as the mayor, and it was very impactful, and I did get to visit our sister city, Netanya, and I wanted to make sure that I gave you all a short report of how that went, so that to give you a sense of what's going on over there, and I think that we all agree that it impacts us. So I want to thank Iran for his help in creating this video. Thank you very much. So Leah, if you can just play it, it's very short.
Shachar was got shot. Trigger warning, of course. If you might feel uncomfortable or disturbing, it can.
It's disturbing.
So what we weren't able to hear, which in a lot of ways, thank God, was the audio of a voicemail from the nurse from the clinic that she was leaving when she was basically dying. And so, you know, we have an item on the agenda that sort of relates to this, and I just want to make sure that because we as a city have made, and as a commission, have been very clear as to our support of Israel and condemning terrorism, Hezbollah, Hamas, anyone else that they throw at us. I want to make sure that we know what's happening there firsthand. I would have loved for all of us to come and go there, and hopefully we can. And then additionally, regrettably, our sister city mayor, Miriam Feinberg, is not doing well. She's got cancer. So I wanted to make sure that, you know, we keep her in our prayers. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to say those few words. Okay. With that, order of business is next. I normally don't do this, but I wanted to add an item to the agenda, if there isn't any objection, to the motions portion. And basically the motion portion, it would be the item would be, and Mr. City Attorney, please stop me if it's not enough information or you need clarification, to direct review of the scholarship awardees' compliance with past resolutions and city values. To direct the manager. Is that enough?
I mean, it's enough for me, but I don't know.
No,
if
no,
there's-
to add to the agenda. I'm saying, is it clear enough?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have any objection?
I have a question. Is this going forward?
No. It's to discuss during our in our motions.
Okay.
So it's not a resolution. It's not an ordinance. It's a motion.
I believe it's to add an item to your agenda.
Right. Okay.
Right. Under your code, you each have the ability to add an item with the consent and of the majority of the commission. So I believe that's what the mayor's intent is.
Yes. Yes.
That's a discussion item.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, we
Yes.
also have a deferment. We
Okay.
have a change of the agenda for item 6A is deferred.
Okay, but we still have to vote to defer that, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So I need a motion for those changes. A second?
But it has to be for date specific, I believe. Right? It's not just
Defer
deferment.
first?
Mayor,
Yeah.
if I may, yes, this is at the request of the applicant, discussed with them today. They would like to defer the item until August 15th, 2024.
Okay.
Which is our August commission meeting.
Okay. All right, so Commissioner Stewart, do you want to make the motion for that?
Yeah, I make-
Okay,
And I'll second.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. Okay.
And I would just, Mayor, if I could, when we get to the item, if we could repeat the fact that it's been deferred, so that if anyone shows up late for that item, they're
Sure.
advised of the date.
And also we received many emails, and I believe that there was a statement, I don't know if we have to mention that, but there is a statement that is being made part of the record.
Actually, that'll be part of the record, not for the deferment, but that'll be part of the, what's being made part of the record is the request for the deferment.
Okay.
But anything else related to the substance of the items will be part of your quasi-judicial hearing, which will be in August. So that'll be included in that record.
Okay, I just want to be clear, just because it's what residents, I know that one resident in particular submitted something to be part of the record. So if it's not being part of the record, I just want to make that clear.
No.
It can be in the future.
Sure, so any request for deferment, we can certainly include in the record since it's being deferred. Anything dealing with the substance of the item itself will be presented as part of the record when the item is presented in your quasi-judicial
Okay,
hearing.
perfect. Thank you.
All right, so with that, if anyone is here to speak on item 6A, just so you know, you don't have to fill out a public speaker card because we're going to be deferring it. And then just in furtherance of that, when you do come up to the podium, know that you are to wait to be recognized, and you need to address all your comments to me, not to any individuals, and we don't call anyone out by name either. Okay. Marlene?
So we have ordinance in the second reading.
Mm-hmm.
It's an ordinance of the City of Commission amending Section 25-14, purpose,
256-6 definitions, 256-9 issuance and renewal of permits / decals, application 256-10 revocation of permits decals, 256-11 exclusion of certain vehicles, 256-14 parking rates and fees, 256-15 authority of city manager, and 256-16 term of permits decals, transfer of chapter 256 article 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, repealing section 256-12 hours permits are valid of the Code of the Ordinances of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, entitled Parking Authority.
Great. Mr. City Manager.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is the second reading of our ordinance repealing our existing parking fees and permits, decals, etc.
Great, thank you. Do we have any public speakers?
Yeah, that.
Okay, do we have any questions from the commission? I need a motion, please.
Motion?
Second?
Second.
This is an ordinance, so, votes, yes, stroke.
Commissioner Gibson,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lama,
Yes.
Commissioner Stuyvesant,
Yes.
Commissioner Viscara,
Yes.
and Vice Mayor Stretchen.
You just demoted me.
Passes.
Yes. Yes.
Ordinance passes 5-0.
Next item.
So now we're going to the resolutions. 10A, it's a resolution establishing citywide parking rates.
Mr. City Manager.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is somewhat of a companion resolution to our ordinance. We repealed our parking rates. This is now establishing our parking rates. We're adjusting our parking rates for our interior parking garages and beachside parking comparable to other rates, and our resident rate will stay the same for those that have a valid resident ID. These parking rates will go into effect August 1st, 2024.
And for clarification, in order to get a resident parking decal, you need to have a resident ID.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
So it's, okay, so you don't need to do anything extra at this point, if you're ready. Okay. Do we have any public speakers?
No public speakers.
Okay. Any questions from the commission? Nope. I need a motion, please.
Motion?
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Next item, please, Marlene. 10B.
10B, a resolution approving the expenditure of budgeted funds with B&H Photo Electronics Corporation, doing business as B&H Photo Video, for the purchase of upgrades to the audio and visual equipment located in the commission chambers.
City Manager.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this item is to approve expenditure of budgeted funds to upgrade our AV equipment located in the chambers in an amount not to exceed $65,626.19.
Okay. Any public speakers, Marlene?
No public speakers.
Any questions or comments from the commission?
No.
I'll take a motion, please.
Motion?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Right. 10C, please.
10C, a resolution authorizing the expenditure of budgeted funds with PC Solutions and Integration, Inc. for renewal of subscription for hardware and software maintenance and multiple technology products.
Mr. City Manager.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, these are our standard renewals for services for hardware and software subscription maintenance for our IT solutions throughout the city.
Great. Any public speakers?
No public speaker.
All right. Any questions from the commission? I'll take a motion, please.
Motion?
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Next item, please. 10D.
10D, a resolution authorizing the city manager to accept, enter into, and execute grant agreements awarded by the state of Florida or any of its agencies related to information technology and cybersecurity.
Mr. City Manager.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this allows the manager to enter into grant agreements that are related to the cybersecurity that's going on.
Great. And I don't believe we take any public speakers for this anyways.
So we don't have any.
All right. So I take a motion.
Motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay. Next item, please.
10E, a resolution declaring zoning in progress relating to development and redevelopment in the mixed-use resort, MUR, Town Center, TCD, Neighborhood Business, B-1, and Business Overlay, BO, zoning districts.
So, City Manager?
I'll go ahead and handle this one. As you all are aware, staff and our consultants in the city are undergoing an evaluation of your zoning code and potential changes to the comprehensive plan. Previously, you've declared a zoning in progress under your code under section 265-16H. Those have a duration of 3 months, so we're just, again, since the process has not finished yet, we're just issuing another zoning in progress until such time as we're able to complete the process.
Great. Thank you. Do we have public speakers?
No public speakers, ma'am?
Any comments or questions from the commission? Take a motion.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. I just want to recognize Mayor Brent Latham from North Bay Village that just came in. Thank you, Mayor. And if you would like to fill out a public speaker card, please do so to the clerk. All right. Next item, please.
10F, a resolution approving an information exchange agreement with the City of Miami Beach Police Department to share information from the Vigilant License Plate Reader System.
So, City Manager.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, we've had great success with our license plate reader program. This allows joint sharing of information with the City of Miami Beach.
Great. Do we have any public speakers?
No public speakers, ma'am?
Right. I just want to take this opportunity that what our police is doing is really incredible that we don't even necessarily hear about. Specifically, an instance that happened the other day in Golden Shores that they did a phenomenal job on. So just thanks, guys. Any comments from the commission? I'll take a motion.
So motion.
Okay. Everyone, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next item.
10G, Madam Mayor, 10G and H can be combined.
Great.
Okay, so 10G is a resolution to expend forfeiture funds from the Department of Justice, DOJ, federal forfeiture account to perform upgrades to the CCTV system at Margolis Park, Town Center Park, and Walking Bridge. And 10H is a resolution ratifying an agreement with Millennium Products, Inc. to upgrade the CCTV system at Margolius Park, Town Center Park, and the Walking Bridge.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this item, companion item G and H, allows for the expenditure of forfeiture funds in the amount of $275,054.34. This goes to your point, Mayor, of our police department is on the cutting edge of technology. This is the beginning of some really incredible technology that we're going to work on installing all of our parks throughout the city. And it includes gun detection and facial recognition.
Amazing. Thank you. Any public speakers?
No public speakers.
Any questions or comments from the commission?
Yeah, I have a question. When is the timeline for the products to be installed?
We're working with the company now. We expect it to be installed within the next 2 months. Sorry? For this project before you, yes.
For West Margolis as well, right?
Yes, correct.
I know I've been giving you guys a very hard time with this, and I apologize, but it's very important because, we just need the technology. We need the cameras, and I really appreciate you guys listening to us, and I apologize for that hard time giving you Stan, Luke, and Eddie that he's not here, but I thank you so much for this. We have a few events in the last few months, so this technology is imperative to have it right now. Okay, so I appreciate it, you guys. Thank you.
And I'd like to reiterate as well, especially regarding the walking bridge. We have so many comments every week regarding people around Winston Towers, and they just don't feel safe there.
Thank you.
We don't have any public speakers?
No public
Okay, I need a motion, please.
Motion.
Second?
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next item, 10I.
10I, approving a first amendment to the agreement with Waterfield Florida Staffing, LLC, doing business as Staffing Connection to provide school crossing guard services.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is our company that we use for crossing guard services. This is our first renewal with the company in an amount not to exceed $219,322.80.
Any public speakers?
No public speakers, ma'am.
Okay, any questions from the commission?
I'd just like to say that they do a great job around the school, and maybe we can expand their services to some of our most dangerous crossings in the city. That would certainly be an advantage.
Okay. I'll take a motion.
So motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next item.
10J is a resolution approving a second amendment to the agreement with Universal Protection Services, LLC, doing business as Allied Universal Security Services for unarmed security guard services at the Government Center.
Mr. City Manager.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is a contract with Waterford, Florida Staffing that is going to provide our security guard for the Government Center lobby 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Amazing. Any public speakers?
No public speakers, ma'am.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 10K, please.
Okay, is a resolution approving change order number 2 with Team Contracting, Inc. to repair shade structure and restroom facility roof located at Sampson Oceanfront Park.
Mr. City Manager.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is a small change to include some additional permitting fees for the repair of this shade structure and restroom facility at Sampson Oceanfront Park, the amount of $1,885.36.
Any public speakers?
No public speakers, ma'am.
All right, if there's no comments or questions. need a
Motion.
Thank you. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next item, please.
Okay, 10L is a resolution approving a fifth amendment to the agreement with Craig A. Smith and Associates Consultants for civil engineering services for the Central Island Area Pump Station and drainage improvement projects.
Mr. City Manager.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is something we've been talking about a while. We put out to bid our Central Island drainage pump station. It came in substantially over budget. We are going back and re-engineering the project, and we expect a substantial savings with an alternate plan for Central Island drainage.
Great. Any public speakers?
No public speakers, ma'am.
All right, any questions or comments from the commission? I'll take a motion.
Just like to say that the public should know that we're saving several $1 million, and they should be happy to know that.
All right, you want to make a motion?
Motion, yes.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next item, please.
10M, a resolution approving a project agreement with Calvin Giordano and Associates, Inc. to provide revisions, permitting, and post-design services for the Golden Shores Pump Station Rehabilitation Project.
Mr. City Manager.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is some additional work regarding the pump station in Golden Shores. The recent flooding that we had, we're currently in the process of signing a contract to place 2 new pumps in the pump station and remodel the existing pump station as well.
Right.
Do we have any public speakers?
No public
Arlene?
speakers, ma'am.
All right, anyone on the commission have a question or comment?
No, I'd just like to say that during our agenda review, it was discussed that the current pumps where they were going to be scrapped, they're now going to be sold for salvage, and that will at least get the city some additional funding where it wouldn't have originally.
Okay. I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next item.
10N, a resolution waiving the bidding requirements set forth in Chapter 62 of the City Code, approving an agreement with Nunes Construction for the installation of emergency generator and building restorations at Gateway Community Center.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is a project that will install emergency generator and some building restorations at Gateway Center. Originally, the design was for the generator to be on the bottom floor, and it was re-engineered to be at the top of Gateway Center. So if we have any type of events like what we had recently, we would at least be able to power Gateway Center.
Great. Thank you. Do we have public speakers?
No public speakers, ma'am.
Are there any questions or comments?
Well, I'd just like to say that Gateway Center itself is a failed structure. I know during its usage, we need to put in an emergency generator, but we've already put in $44 million to this building, and it seems like a lot for something that only has a ballroom and one exercise room.
Thank you. All right, I'll take a motion, please.
Motion moved.
Second. Second. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay.
Aye.
Next item, please. 10O.
10O, a resolution approving a Fourth Amendment to the agreement with Lighter Up LLC to install holiday lights and decorations at various locations throughout the city.
And are we going to have it up on the screen or no? No?
I think that was just extra.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Go ahead.
So, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, at our agenda review that we had, you had all directed me to go back and do some negotiation with the company for some additional holiday lights. We've gone back to them. We've added in your suggestions, and the contract has been revised. So now we're seeking approval for a total contract amount of $169,080.
Yes.
And what does that get us, the addition?
The additional stuff gets us some, we're going to put some additional
Dreidels.
dreidels along Collins, and we're also going to provide some holiday lighting at the entrances to each of the monuments for the different neighborhoods.
Right.
Okay. Thank you. Do we have any public speakers?
No public speakers.
Okay. I'm hopeful that we can maybe put this online so people can see it, if that's possible.
We can. We just received that contract
No,
earlier.
I-
That's the reason for the late addition, but it has the, we were going back and forth in terms of our rates. But yes, we can add what we handed out to you. We can put it on.
Yeah, I think that this is probably the single biggest question that we get is about holiday lights. So
It
this
is.
is really important. It sounds funny, but it is very important for a lot of people. And so thank you for going back and renegotiating that. Does anyone on the commission have a question?
Yes, I'd just like to add that we've been told the city is looking to purchase additional dreidels, and the contract will include installation of those dreidels at no additional cost. It will be negotiated to have that happen.
Thank you. Okay, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Perfect.
10P, a resolution prohibiting the establishment of sister city relationships with any cities located within countries that support or sponsor terrorism or that officially recognize and thereby legitimize terrorist states or territories controlled by terrorist organizations.
Great, thank you. Okay, so this is my item. I'm going to read just a small blurb and then I'll say a few words as well. So, Sister Cities International, based in Washington, D.C., formally recognizes sister city relationships worldwide to foster global cooperation, cultural understanding, and economic development at the municipal level. On May 28, 2024, Spain, Norway, and Ireland officially recognized a Palestinian state, an action condemned by the Israeli Foreign Minister, Israel Katz, as inciting genocide and war crimes. The United States, United Kingdom, France, Italy, Japan, Canada, and the European Union have not granted unilateral recognition to a Palestinian state, citing that Palestine does not meet the traditional international standards for statehood, which include a permanent population, defined territory, government, and the ability to engage in international relations. Hamas, designated as a terrorist organization by the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and the European Union, holds significant power within the Palestinian government and controls the Gaza Strip. By way of this resolution, the City Commission states its refusal to enter into sister city relationships with cities in countries like Spain, Norway, and Ireland, which recognize and legitimize terrorist organizations. There's a little bit of a theme here. We have a sister city program that we suspended this past fiscal year in hopes of having some savings, but really because we haven't really engaged with them in a long time. And like I said earlier, going to Israel recently and visiting Netanya, and again, I wish all of us were able to go. It reminded me why we have sister city relationships, and that we do exchange information and we do exchange best practices. And while they're very, very similar to us, they have a gorgeous beach, they're really a beautiful city, they also have things that are very different. They have a large stadium with 20,000 seats. They have a planetarium. They have a lot of things. And so it reminded me that it's important for us to engage with sister cities that hold our values. And it's important to tell whomever it is that supports terrorism in any way that the city of Sunny Isles Beach, who is a very desirable sister city because we get asked often, will not partner with you. So I hope to have my commission's support of this. Do we have any public speakers? Oh, that's right. Sorry, you gave us a name. Okay. Vice Mayor Annabelle Leavitt-Top, please come up.
Good evening.
Yes, thank you.
Mayor, Senate, and administration, strong to all of you. I am here in favor of this item. I want to let you know that you all have the opportunity to trail 41st tonight, not only the county, probably the entire state. Where that, Mayor, I'm incredibly proud of you for going to Israel. My colleague, Bishop Matter, and I might be happy. March, and I'll say to you, where that's to her in time, that for me going to Israel, that's expected, I'm Israeli. So, it's just the right thing to do. But for an elected official, not Israeli, to go at this particular time, to show your support, really, I thank you, really. No, it's okay. I really hope that every single one of you will have an opportunity to travel to Israel as well and bear witness as well as to the atrocities there. I do want to just take a quick moment. Since October 7th, we've had an incredible amount of anti-Semitism and other dangerous threats. You all have the most stellar police department. We have it in Broward County, City of Hallandale Beach. I'm very proud of them. But in Dade County, please know the City of Sunny Isles Beach Police Department are stellar, the best of the best. I really hope that you all pass this resolution unanimously. I actually have my city attorney and city clerk on standby. And I hope that we will be able to adopt the same resolution in Hallandale Beach with one addition to it. The first line will read that this resolution was brought forward by the City of Sunny Isles Beach and passed on June 20th. I want to read one sentence here. Whereas the official recognition of a Palestinian state by Spain, Norway, Ireland, or others is akin to recognizing the legitimization of a terrorist organization, Hamas, which threatens global peace and security. Those countries now are in lockstep with Cuba, Venezuela, Iran, North Korea, CCP, and Vladimir Putin. In the news recently, we just had a Russian warship in Cuba. Whether it was posturing or not is a topic for another time, but the idea here is that these countries are now lockstep with these
countries that I just named. So I really, really hope that you will unanimously pass this tonight. Like the mayor stated, United States, United Kingdom, France, Italy, Japan, Canada, and the European Union have refused to grant unilateral recognition to a Palestinian state where, might I add, 80% of people in Gaza not only support Hamas, but approve of the atrocities we've seen on October 7th. So with that being said, you all have the opportunity tonight to not only be on the right side of history, but tonight you have the opportunity to be the ones making history. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to recognize Council General for Israel, Mayor. Thank you for being here. If you wanted to speak, you don't have to fill out a speaker card. So next speaker, Lisa Katz, Esquire. You can just state your name and address for the record, please.
Sure. Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
I'm Lisa Katz. I live in Chappaqua, New York. And
Thank you for flying down for this, by the way. Thank you.
I did come all the way down to speak today. Good evening, Mayor Spetchin and all the city commissioners. So again, I'm Lisa Katz, the Chief Government Affairs Officer of the Combat Anti-Semitism Movement. And I'm here tonight to support the adoption of this resolution that would forbid the city of Sunny Isles Beach from establishing a sister city relationship with cities located in countries that have spoken out in support of terrorism and their controlled land. So countries like Ireland, Norway, and Spain have spoken out against Israel and for a Palestinian state and in favor of Hamas. The state of Israel, the world's only Jewish state, stands as a beacon of democracy and human rights in a region fraught with turmoil and conflict. It is a country that, despite facing relentless threats and violence, continues to uphold the principles of freedom, equality, and justice for all of its citizens. When countries and entities express support for Hamas, a designated terrorist group who committed unfathomable atrocities against innocent civilians in Israel on October 7th and continue to do so now, they are not just opposing these principles that Israel stands for, but they are endorsing violence and hatred. Hamas has a clear and unambiguous goal: the destruction of Israel and the Jewish people, and the perpetration of terror against innocent civilians. I was honored to be in Israel earlier this month, along with Mayor Spetchin and Mayor Latham behind me, and a dozen other mayors from across the country, and we saw firsthand the atrocities committed by Hamas on peaceful Israelis whose only crime was being Jewish. We saw the bullet-ridden homes burned with people hiding inside. We saw videos of families on their way to prayer gunned down in the streets. And we spoke with families of young hostages being held by Hamas simply because they were attending a peaceful music festival. Hamas and other terrorist organizations and their actions and ideologies are antithetical to the values that we hold dear, values that form the foundation of your city, our nation, and our commitment to human dignity. By adopting this resolution tonight, you are taking a stand against anti-Semitism and terrorism. You are declaring that you will not engage in partnerships or cultural exchanges with entities that support those who seek to terrorize innocent people and undermine global peace and security. The fight against anti-Semitism is not just a fight for the Jewish community. As we've seen on our college campuses, hatred and intolerance left unchecked corrode the very fabric of our society. By rejecting alliances with those who support terror and violence, you are protecting your Jewish community and ensuring that Sunny Isles Beach remains a place where all individuals, regardless of their background, can feel safe, valued, and respected. So I urge you all to support this resolution and to be trailblazers in our country and to affirm our collective commitment to combating anti-Semitism in all its forms. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Mayor Brent Latham.
Good evening, Mayor. Good to see you again. Commissioners, Vice Mayor, administrators, it's a pleasure to be here with you. I have to compliment you on the pace at which your meetings move. Certainly, we have some things to learn where that's concerned in North Bay Village, although we do always try to finish before midnight, for what that's worth. I was privileged, Brent Latham, Mayor of North Bay Village, 1666 Kennedy Causeway, North Bay Village, Florida, the heart of the Bay. I'm here in support of your mayor, who I traveled to Israel along with, and several other mayors from across the United States for the Combat Anti-Semitism movement. And it was an incredible trip. I think it was for each of us a different experience, certainly for me as a non-Jewish mayor, and because it's relevant, also someone who's farther to the left on the political spectrum. I'm a Democrat. And I do think that's relevant to this discussion. And I learned and saw a lot. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to have done that. I would encourage anyone that has the opportunity to do so. Why is that? I think that we have, as with so many fraught and difficult situations and topics, we have a lot to learn about the situation in Israel, at least generally in the United States. And I would say that that's true of many Western societies and civilizations, some of which are mentioned in the resolution that your mayor is proffering. It's very important, as you know, as elected officials, to get full information when you're making decisions. And I think a lot of people don't have full information on the situation that Israelis are facing in today's world, and Jews in general. I mean, we do have the opportunity to interact with our Jewish constituents. We're lucky in South Florida. And this is something that I pointed out on multiple occasions to some of our fellow mayors who are from other parts of the country. Some of them do have larger Jewish constituencies and others don't. We're lucky to be surrounded by Jewish populations, and I think have a better opportunity to interact and understand them. And yet, the United States in general, I think we have a lot of work to do in our contemporary society to be able to understand and sympathize with the plight of the Jewish people in our society, and things are not going particularly well. So we as leaders have work to do. And I do believe that at the very least, this sort of motion, this sort of resolution the mayor is proffering, opens up an important discussion, for our constituents about what is it that we're doing, what are the decisions that we're taking, and what are our beliefs vis-a-vis, again, a complicated situation about which we have a lot to learn before we make important decisions and start to decide what's what. So I'm very supportive of the mayor in general. I think that this is an excellent course of action for your city. I congratulate you. And I'd be really interested in speaking with anyone one-on-one in terms of experiences and learnings that we were able to take away from Israel. And again, I encourage you to learn more and be a part of this very important discussion. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Did you want to say a few words? Thank you. Guys.
Mayor, commissioners, administrators, thank you very much for having me. Just for the record, I just came back from Tampa, so it's probably took me longer than Lisa that came from New York, but I did come with a car. So, but it was extremely important for me to be here tonight, and I just want to, of course, build on the words that were just said over here by my very good friends Annabelle from Hallandale Beach and Lisa, and of course Mayor Latham. This is for me, and I do know I'm biased, so I'm representing the state of Israel, and thank you for everything that you have done so far, even before October 7, but certainly post October 7. But for me, it's very, very simple at this time of our life, of history. If Hamas supports you, you're doing something wrong. If Hamas applauds you, you are doing something wrong as an individual, as an organization, as a state, and as a country. And we see exactly how international organizations are working at the moment. And we see that when Hamas applauds a UN Security Council resolution or a UN General Assembly resolution or any other organization, UN Women resolution, when it applauds it or when it accepts it, then you're doing something wrong. And when you don't realize that which is good and which is bad, which is evil, and really which is good, you are part of the problem. And I'm really sorry. I'm really happy to see you, Mayor, and of course I hope the entire commission identifying how you can be of help and hitting the nail on the head. Because when we're talking about sister city agreement, it's really is people to people. And in the end of the day, we're talking about what are the values of the people of Sunny Isles Beach. Who are they identified with? Who are these wonderful people of this community over here, which I've had the pleasure almost to call home for the past 3 years? Who do they identify with? With countries or with people who resent the state of Israel, who go against the Jewish people, our aspiration to really to live happily with peace and security, or are going forward against everything that the values that we live up for. I've had a lot of admiration to some of the countries who have clearly, after October 7th, have lifted their mask off, and now they're not hiding behind any noble ideas. And I would add to these countries even what we see in Colombia, that they've disconnected the relationship with Israel, and the shameful, disgraceful words that are coming from the president of Brazil. And we see also other countries, and of course Turkey. We see other countries in the world who are not shying away from showing their sometimes just pure anti-Semitism. And rejection of anything that we uphold so dear. So not only do I encourage you to adopt this resolution and deny any city of this country of your partnership and cooperation, but I also, and I know, Mayor, that you visited Netanya, I also encourage you to deepen your relationship with your existing sister city and Israel, and I am, of course, completely committed to helping you doing so. So thank you very much. And good luck.
Thank you. Research. We have an additional speaker, Danielle Kao? Carp, sorry, please. Your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, I'm Danielle Carp, and I appreciate your item, and I totally support it. Me and my husband, Martin Karp, also went to Israel in April for 2 weeks, and I was there in February and last summer. We're big supporters of Israel, and I know my husband had a similar thing where companies were boycotting Israel, and he made sure that he let people know and did not do business with them. So thank you for your item.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. No more speakers? All right. So public comment is closed. I'm imagining that there's some comment or Commissioner Joseph, did you want to start?
Yes.
Please.
So I would just like to say regarding, it's not only regarding countries that we have to be careful of, but it's also people.
Right, but this item is regarding countries.
No, I
It's just
understand
states.
that, but I'm just adding on to what Brent had mentioned regarding having to be careful. And in August of 2023, the mayor elevated a young lady in our city who she congratulated, and she ended up getting a scholarship with our city.
Commissioner Joseph, this is not what we're talking about. So
Well,
you can wait. We can talk about that when we get to the motions.
We were talking about that there may be other cities and how countries were unmasked. So we're talking now.
Can you stick to the item, please?
Well, I am.
You're not. You're going off of the agenda. That's not on the agenda. We're talking about states, not people.
Well, but it goes to the fact that you never know I mean,
You
have
are
to
absolutely
leave-
right.
You
So,
have to
but
leave this as an
why don't
open-
why don't you leave that and when we get to the motions, you'll be able to say that when we get to the motions, because that speaks directly to my motion. Okay? Do you have something to say about this item?
I don't have anything
Okay.
further.
Commissioner Stuyvesant, do you have anything?
I feel like they left it.
Nope. Vice Mayor?
This item about,
Tempe?
yeah, okay. So the way I see it, perhaps, I don't know, I see it a little bit different. The way I see Spain, Norway, and Ireland, I think what they're saying is that they're proposing or they're supporting a two-state solution, which it'll be something that would lead to peace. So, and I think that will be for the benefit of Israel and everybody in the region. So that's how I see it. I don't necessarily see how it translates to those countries supporting genocide and war crimes. I think, I've talked to constituents, I talked to a lot of people about the issue, and I think that everybody longs for peace. And I believe that a two-state solution perhaps is something that would lead to peace in the region, which is something that is much needed. I mean, this is a conflict that's been going on for 70 plus years. And I think that, we should be talking about peace. And I don't think Spain, Norway, and Ireland, what they stated, it leads to genocide and war crimes. I think it leads to perhaps a peaceful resolution.
Thank you. Commissioner Stuyvesant?
Okay, so from the Sister City official website, it says, a sister city is a long-term relationship and partnership between two communities in two countries. A relationship is officially recognized after the highest elected or appointed official from both communities sign off on an agreement to become sister cities. Like we know, that's a lengthy process. It's not overnight, it just doesn't take one meeting. It takes several months, if not years, to make sure that we create that relationship. We here in the city of Sunny Isles Beach, we have taken any step to make our community safe, anything and everything. We are 100% supporters of our Jewish community. We have the most empathy and sympathy. In our Jewish community, they do feel safe here. Here you can walk anywhere in our city and you are being protected. You feel safe. We are not in the radar of the anti-Israel protesters or nothing like that. Here, and we have had a few issues with anti-Semitism, like locally, in the recent weeks. Even somebody's been posting or some stickers through the neighborhood, the Golden Shores, anti-Zionism, etc. So, however, the city and our city government is doing anything and everything possible to continue keeping our community safe. That is why I don't understand too much this resolution, because again, to become sister cities is a process. So it's not just a wish, it's something that it takes time. And again, I do have 100% sympathy as a mother. I cannot just imagine what the families that the hostages of the October 7th massacre are feeling. I have boys and daughters. And like I said, I feel the empathy, and I want to do the right thing. But at the same time, it's not countries the ones that are doing this. It's people. It's politicians that they are recognizing in these terrorist organizations. So we cannot call the country. I have friends that moved after COVID to Spain for whatever reason, and they're Jewish. They didn't even know about this when I spoke to them about it. So what about our Jewish brothers and sisters in these places? What about our Jewish brothers and sisters in Spain, in Ireland, in Norway? Are we breaking a relationship with them? So that's not what we, the city of Sunny Isles Beach, is looking forward to do. So even though that I'm 100% supporter of the people of Israel, I really don't understand what will be the impact of this resolution.
Okay. Commissioner Joseph, anything else to add? No? Okay, so I'll respond to that because I feel very strongly about this. Normally, I would sort of let it go. So regarding the conflict and the two-state solution, I urge you, Vice Mayor, to take the time to have a better understanding of the history on it, because by accepting these Palestine as a state, what you are in effect accepting is Hamas. And they are not proffering a two-state solution. They are proffering to get rid of the state of Israel and to get rid of all Jews. So let's start with that. And I think that, especially since the people that we had speaking, I would say that every single one of them is an expert on this topic. And so I certainly am not. But the way that they spoke very eloquently, it saddens me that it didn't get through. And so I know that it's my mission now to make it clearer, because I did not do a good job in making it very clear. And regarding, Commissioner Stuyvesant, breaking any ties with any countries, this is not about breaking ties. This is about sending a message and saying that we unequivocally stand with the state of Israel, with the Jewish people, and any country or state or city or anyone that supports Hamas, and by recognizing Palestine, who is, their government is Hamas, you're basically accepting their ideology. And yes, of course, people live in Spain that are Jewish. They did so during the Crusades as well. This is not about the brothers and sisters in any of those countries. This is about making a very, very clear statement that the city of Sunny Isles Beach does not tolerate even an inch of acceptance of Hamas, even a centimeter.
I agree with that. And I think we've been making clear that over the years. Like, even right now, the people didn't have the opportunity to see the pictures. But during December or during the holidays, we are going to have all our city white and blue, the colors of the Israel flag. And this is beautiful. I love it. Like, you guys are going to see, and you're going to be very proud of this, We had done anything and everything to make sure that we support our community. When every item that it has always come to us, as far as I can remember, and since I've been sitting down here, it has gone through. So that's why I don't understand this specific. Like, for example, to enter into this sister city relationship, you have to make a contract of understanding that you want to be part of it. Right now, other than America, there are 11 countries that want to be part of the sister city program. Spain, Norway, and Ireland are not part of it. The ones that are looking for sister cities are Bolivia, Cameroon, Colombia, Ghana, Italy, Mozambique, South Korea, Togo, Ukraine, Vanuatu, and Zimbabwe. So I did my research. I spoke to people from the community. And this is really not sending any message. Like, we can have any other type of resolution, continue making clear the support that we have for the people of Israel. But the sister cities, I don't think is the one, for the reasons that I just pointed out. This is a lengthy process. You don't become sister cities in one meeting. It has to have a contract of understanding. So by we doing this, I just don't see the point. And I do have another question. What is the staff recommendation? What is our city attorney? Because usually you guys recommend us to support or to pass the resolution. So what will be the staff?
Before I recognize the attorney, I just want to say that the purpose of this is very similar to us having a rider to all of our contracts, the anti-BDS rider. It's not necessarily saying that we are never going to do anything with any country. It's if you support Hamas, you need to know that we will not partner with you. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden makes it easier, but I'll let Alan answer
the question. But that's super clear. Like, we should not even...
This is not just about this commission. This is about commissions going forward. It's not super clear, because if it was super clear, then all of you would be in agreement. It's not super clear. Can you answer the, please, Mr. City Attorney?
Typically on these types of resolutions, the staff does not provide a recommendation. This is purely within your realm from a legislative standpoint, so we don't give recommendations on social issues.
Okay, thank you.
Did we ever have a resolution similar to this one in the past that
Well,
you can recollect?
You've passed several resolutions in support of Israel, for example, which staff hasn't provided recommendations on.
Yeah, correct.
We have not provided recommendations.
This is consistent with all of the resolutions that we passed.
Okay.
May I add something?
Wait, let Commissioner Joseph go, and then you'll go.
Our Sister City program is unfunded.
For this fiscal year,
Yes, for this fiscal year.
this is going forward.
So, okay. So adopting this resolution doesn't automatically fund our Sister City program, correct?
No, we have to first approve our budget.
Right, exactly.
Right, so this is not
So
connected
this
to a
is
budget item.
not connected to a budget item whatsoever.
No,
Right,
this costs us nothing.
right. Okay.
Vice Mayor, you had a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to add something, clarify something. I just don't think that Spain, Norway, and Ireland intend with this, what they proposed, recognizing or supporting the two-state solution, that they support Hamas. I mean, Spain itself has suffered from Islamic terrorism with their attacks on their train system. So I don't think that's their intent. So I just fail to see how that translates into that. I think what they're trying to say is that they would like to see a two-state solution so there's peace, and that's how I see it.
I appreciate that, and with all due respect,
I don't think anybody here supports Hamas.
In the audience that are actual experts in this, and they see it differently.
Well, I could talk to them. I mean,
I would love for you to talk to
Yeah.
them. I actually would love it. So especially Lisa, who flew in for this. All right. So if there aren't any more questions or comments, okay. I'm sensing I'm not going to get a motion. No motion. All right. So the item fails. All right. Now we're going to go to the motions part of our agenda, and I just have a question, Mr. City Attorney. There's no public speakers for motions, correct?
If it's put on, if the commission agrees to place the item on the agenda.
Well, we did. So does it does have a number though?
Yes,
So what number? We'll just call it 11.
that would be up to the clerk, whatever the sequence is.
So we had an addition to the agenda for number 11. So if anybody wants to speak on the addition, which was made by me, and it's a motion to direct the city manager to review the scholarship criteria for awardees in compliance with past resolutions and city values. So if there's anybody wants to sign up for that? Okay. So I'm going to speak to this item, and then I will let you go first. Okay.
No, you speak and I'll go.
No, I mean after I speak.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So I wasn't certain how to position this, and so I have some very drafted language that I want to read to help explain what it is I'm looking to discuss. Whereas Sunny Isles Beach has formally adopted the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance definition of anti-Semitism, whereas Sunny Isles Beach has passed resolutions condemning Hamas as a terrorist organization, whereas Sunny Isles Beach has passed resolutions opposing the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement, whereas Sunny Isles Beach upholds the values of integrity and inclusivity. Therefore, be it resolved, well, this doesn't have to necessarily be the same language, the purpose of this would be to direct the manager to conduct a thorough review of our scholarship criteria and all current scholarship awardees to ensure they have not engaged in activities or behaviors that are in violation of the aforementioned resolutions and city values, specifically assessing if any scholarship awardee has engaged in activities or made statements that are inconsistent or in violation of the IRA definition of anti-Semitism, publicly supported or endorsed Hamas or any of its activities, participated in or promoted the BDS movement. Okay, so with that, are there any public speakers that wanted to sign up to the what movement? What was BDS. Okay, so is there, I know that we're a little bit fragmented right now. Anyone wanted to sign up to speak on this? Going once, going twice. Okay, you want to, can you just, well, you can fill out a card afterwards. Just your name, please, again.
My name is Lisa Katz. I'm from Chappaqua, New York. So, as I understand it, and I wasn't prepared to speak on this, obviously, you are looking to set forth a resolution whereby people who do not agree with your values as set forth, as a community value should not be entitled to receipt of scholarship funds, essentially. So I think that this city seems to be one where you value inclusivity and you value human rights. And I would say that this is a very good resolution. And as we're seeing again on our college campuses, there are kids who I think saying they're ignorant is kind, but there are certainly many of them who are speaking out on matters that either they don't understand or with which they agree, which is actually a larger issue, especially as it relates to anti-Semitism. So I would ask you to adopt this resolution, making sure that whatever this city hands out complies with your stated values.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, please. And Lisa, if you can just fill out a card before you leave. Thank you.
Good evening, Vice Mayor Annabelle Matab from Hallandale Beach. Wasn't prepared to speak about this item, but I will do my best. Boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement is an extremely egregious and dangerous movement. It is not only annihilates Jews, but I want you to know as Christians that they come for the Jews first, they come after you next. Hamas Charter not only speaks about Jews, but it speaks about Christians. Hamas Charter also speaks about the Freemasons. It also speaks about the Rotary Club. So if you've not read the Hamas Charter, I've read it word by word. As elected officials, whether you're local, county, state, I urge you to read the Hamas Charter and understand that the BDS movement is the parents of it, the ones that formulated the BDS movement, is the Muslim Brotherhood, which is funded by Hamas, which has taken over college campuses. I think that this resolution moving forward is a good remedy and a necessary one. I thank you very much again, Mayor, for being a trailblazer. And the last thing I'd like to say is put your politics aside, because people's lives are at hand here. People's lives matter. And when you allow your politics to get before good governance, you're failing at your job. So it is not just a Jewish problem. It is a Christian problem. And if you look at the news and you read what the BDS movement is, and you read what Hamas said, Hamas has come up time after time and said that they're coming for Christians, they're coming for America, they're coming for Judeo-Christian values. So, again, I urge you to put your politics aside and pick good governance over any political risks. Mayor, thank you. I appreciate everything you do. Thank you. It does not go unnoticed.
Thank you. Okay. We don't have anybody else? Thank you. All right. So please go ahead.
Yes.
And if I can just please remind everyone, please wait to be recognized and please do not use any names.
No.
Thank you. Oh, all right. Please go ahead.
Greg Catholic, 257 Flakes and ILF. I had no intention of speaking on this, but I would have never imagined this turned out the way it did. You're all entitled to your beliefs, and I respect what you're saying about peace. We all should have that. But I want to say that you're not going to change the world here tonight. This is more, I believe, a statement of support for Israel, and to say we're in support of Israel and we're in support of this resolution. And to not even make a motion, I think was atrocious. It's an embarrassment to this commission to just sit there and not vote. And maybe you just want to abstain by not actually staying yes or no, which would have been maybe the right thing to do to show who you really are. But to not support Israel and support, and I'm stretching, to support Hamas, to support killing, to not make a statement by voting yes, It's an embarrassment.
Thank you. No, we're not going to go back and forth, please. This is, okay. So no more public comment? Okay, public comment is closed. All right, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. So this resolution now that the mayor is proposing, I believe it needs to go further because we had an incident where the mayor had propelled someone, elevated someone who ended up getting a city scholarship, who turned out to be a Hamas supporter. And we have to do something, add additional language to make sure that that doesn't happen again.
Right. Thank you. Right. Commissioner Stevenson? I'm recognizing you.
Okay. I agree that what we have right now is a world problem, 100%. And what's happening in the colleges and the universities is outrageous. And like Lisa says, to say that they're ignorant is an understatement. It's terrible. And I see what's going on. One of the reasons that I decided to make my daughter, who is in college right now, to go out of the state, she's in France, was because I didn't want her to experience the indoctrination that is going on right now in our college campuses. I don't understand what part is not understood by the public, but we do support the state of Israel. We do support our Jewish community, and we're going to continue. And I'm sorry if I'm talking, we as a commission, as a city, to make sure that everyone feels safe in our community. Actually, you guys were not here earlier, but I spoke about our international festival, which was a success. And we have so many countries being displayed, including India and Pakistan, in the same table together. Just to give you an example, in the name of the celebration, it was a celebration of everyone. And in the first page, I wrote the article for the newspaper. It's our Jewish people, okay? They sing the national anthem. That was the first thing that they sing. So I don't understand what is misunderstood. I want people to understand that we are going to talk now about me. I do support the state of Israel. I support our Jewish community. And there is nothing more important for me specifically that everyone feels safe walking our streets and being here in Sunny Apps. That's what I have to say.
Okay. Vice Mayor? No?
No?
Commissioner Vizcarra?
I agree that looking at the doing some background on our recipients is important, and as we look at it more broadly, let's look to inclusivity and our values, and making sure that whoever's receiving the scholarships reflects what we as a city want to be portrayed as. I think it's a good thing to consider.
Vice Mayor?
This is a resolution for moving forward, correct?
No.
This is what?
This is a resolution to review our policy for for scholarship program, which is very outdated. In fact, it was brought to my attention that we don't even follow it, but also to review the past awardees who have not yet received the actual monies for their scholarship to see if that they have broken
Correct an error.
I wouldn't call it an error, just to correct anything that we can still correct, given that if whatever policy we put in place, since it's not too late to effectuate that. That's what this is.
So it's retroactive. We're going to go back and look at all the recipients
For this year.
for this year,
For this year.
and perhaps not award them.
If they have broken any of the criteria, no, they would not receive the money.
Okay.
They have not received it yet.
Why don't we make it moving forward?
Because we had an issue.
Let's one at a time. So my recommendation is that it would affect this year, and this is in direct response to requests from the community, but also from what we have all collectively seen happening across not just college campuses. Now we see it in high school campuses. And so if we can still effectuate that, I think that it is irresponsible to give taxpayer dollars, which have not yet been issued, to anyone that is goes against the values of the city of Sunny Isles Beach.
But I 100% support that. If a motion is needed, I will make the motion because I know firsthand how our people got offended during the speech at the high school by one of our recipients.
Right.
So that I'm very surprised because the school body in the high school and the school body in the middle school, they all knew how radical this individual is. So it was no surprise that she was gonna get there and put the scarf that she put.
Okay, Commissioner Stevens, I don't want to start going into detail.
I'm not putting names out there, but it was no surprise that that's what's gonna happen. That she put that scarf and she make a very divisive, radical statement that our people got very offended. I received also many phone calls, messages, etc. about it. So I do agree that we haven't disbursed the money to consider not giving the scholarship to those people that clearly don't represent the values of the city of Sunny Isles Beach. So I'm 100% in agreement, and I'd like to, when we finish, to make the motion.
Okay.
Yes, and I would like to say that the sister city resolution, I don't feel that it had anything to do with support for Israel. It was regarding sister city program, and that is why I didn't make a motion.
Okay.
Another candidate who spoke.
All right. We're not attacking the public. We're not. We're not. We are not attacking any.
But people come up to the podium who are running for office.
It does not.
And their comments should be taken as comments from a candidate.
Commissioner Joseph, it is our job up here to give the best example and to show a decorum. And so please, I'm asking you to control yourself. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. With that, do I have a motion?
Actually, before you, sorry.
Oh.
Well, strong microphone. Before you vote on it as your attorney, I am obligated to advise you, although I will not get into detail from the dais, that I do have legal concerns with this particular resolution and the action that's proposed to be taken. I am, once the motion's made, going to need a little bit more clarity, but nevertheless, I am obligated to tell you that. I can speak to you individually and explain it, but there are some First Amendment issues that we need to consider, but I will not go into details because I do not want to telegraph any sort of exposure the city may have for purposes of the public.
Okay.
So I just need to tell you that.
Thank you.
Yes. And I would just like to ask you, Alan, that if there's any way that this resolution can be revised in order to make it less as what you were talking about.
You will bring it to us. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and that's one of the questions I have. Beyond the clarity is exactly what we're directing the city.
So I'm going to read it again, and then Commissioner Susan, you can make that motion. So let me read it. And obviously, please clean up the language. If you can, Mr. City Attorney, let me know if any of it is unclear, or I trust you to do that. Okay.
And amend it as necessary.
So, Commissioner Joseph, thank you. All right, so this would be a motion to direct the city manager to review the scholarship criteria and the awardees of 2024 compliance with past resolutions and city values, whereas Sunny Isles Beach has formally adopted the IRA definition of anti-Semitism, where Sunny Isles Beach has passed resolutions condemning Hamas as a terrorist organization, where Sunny Isles Beach has passed resolutions opposing boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement, whereas Sunny Isles Beach upholds the values of integrity and inclusivity. Therefore, be it resolved that Sunny Isles Beach directs the manager to conduct a thorough review of all current scholarship awardees to ensure they have not engaged in activities or behaviors that are in violation of the aforementioned resolutions and city values. Be it further resolved that this review will specifically assess whether any scholarship awardee has engaged in activities or made statements that are inconsistent with or in violation of the IRA definition of anti-Semitism, publicly supported or endorsed Hamas or any of its activities, participated in or promoted the BDS movement. Was that enough?
It is if you want the resolution to come back to you. If you don't want the resolution to come back to you, it's not self-executing. So to the extent that there is a finding that an awardee did something, and again, that would be the issue that I have an issue with, any revocation of a scholarship, who would make that determination? If this commission makes that determination, it would come back to you.
Okay.
If it's
Fine.
But wait a second, if we're able to, in this resolution, give the manager the authority to make that recommendation based on this criteria.
The only issue with that, and the city manager can obviously speak for himself, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he would be the determinant of what is anti-Semitic and what is not. That puts him in a very difficult position.
The IRA definition makes it very clear what's anti-Semitic.
But he has to apply the facts to the definition and make that determination on his own. That would probably be more appropriate for the governing body to do that.
All right, I'm fine with that. I was hoping not to say going with this, but okay.
I would like it to come back. I wanna see the page. I wanna be able to look at the language specifically, and like I said, I'd be inclined to looking at not just a slice of things, but if we're going to be looking at the values and the inclusivity and whatever, let's look at it holistically.
Sure. Okay. All right.
So I make the motion.
Okay, I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, this is a resolution, so it's the.
It's being proposed as a
So
resolution.
all in favor?
Aye.
So hold on, I want to make sure, it's a resolution proposed, it's going to come back to us,
Yes, the report.
Well,
and then we're going to vote on it. Because I would be in favor of this, but moving forward, obviously there's First Amendment considerations we have to take into account and other things. So I would like to see the whole thing.
The motion is specific to this year's awardees, not just going forward. So it's two parts. One part is reviewing the entire process.
Correct.
And the second part is reviewing the current awardees for 2024 and whether they broke any of these criteria. So it's not going forward. It does affect this year. Now, you're not voting right now if anyone's scholarship is going to be taken away. What you would be voting on is allowing the manager to produce a report and a recommendation based on that criteria.
Right.
Isn't this a discussion item?
It's an actual motion. So to the vice mayor's point, if you would be voting essentially, and I can't make a motion, but I'll suggest the motion directing the city manager to report back to you, and we can bring a resolution back to you with regards to those findings, and then you can vote on that. Because if you vote on the resolution now, you're essentially already voting forward without the results. So,
Well, at the beginning of the meeting, when we asked, I asked, is this a motion or discussion item? I thought you said this was a discussion item, but that was my understanding anyway. I'm okay. I think this needs to be evaluated. I don't want to vote on anything that I haven't seen on paper. Like, it's hard, just getting it read. But I'm okay with giving direction, like treating it like a discussion item, because that's how I was treating it, in my head. I'd like to see something on paper that then we can handle.
Plus, there's going to be a report done as well.
Whatever.
Let me clarify again. This is not a discussion item. This is added. We have a section in our agenda is for motions, which allows us to make motions that would become resolutions or ordinances. So this was added as that. And right now, the resolution, which I can read again, it's pretty short, basically directs the manager to review the one, scholarship criteria, and two, the recipients of the 2024 scholarship based on the three standards that I indicated, and I can repeat them if that makes it easier. It does not mean that we are giving him the authority to take away anybody's scholarship. He's going to come back to us and say, okay, person A, B, and C did not, D did, or everybody's fine, no one did anything wrong, or everyone needs to get their scholarship taken away. So it's just him coming back to us with the report. Yes, please.
Is it him coming back to us with the report or with the resolution, written resolution? Because I don't have a resolution in front of me.
No, report and resolution.
A report and resolution. And then we would vote yes, no, or defer, or whatever we want to do.
Yes.
Okay. So we're not voting on a resolution. We're just voting and directing the city attorney to come back to us with a report and a resolution.
The city manager, not the city attorney.
The city manager, sorry.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that enough?
Yes, if it's in the way of, you're still desiring this to be a resolution directing the city manager to obviously reevaluate the scholarship program, because it is, to your point, it is outdated, and then to also review the recipients of the scholarship
And provide a report based on the criteria I mentioned of
And-
those scholarship winners.
Okay,
As
and
the
then
move may have violated that criteria.
Please.
the only other question I have is, to what extent are you directing the manager to look into it? Because I don't think the manager can undertake a full investigation of each individual awardee. I mean, there's only so much that can be gleaned from what's in the public.
So let me simplify it then. Okay. If we have any awardees that have been brought to our attention that have broken any of these rules or have gone against any of our values or our resolutions, we will start with those.
That's helpful.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'll take up. Yeah, I have a motion.
Yeah,
I have a second.
Yes, second.
All right. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. So passes. Thank you. I think we're done. Now we're up to public comment. Well, first person, George Bardmester. Your name and address for the record, please.
George Bardmester, 18911 Collins Avenue. I'm Mayor Svitchin, members of the commission. I wish I had loftier things to talk about, but I have an issue here in Sunny Isles. If you look at the city website and part about the commission, there is a mayor and her bio. There's our vice mayor and his bio. There's Commissioner Fabiola and her bio. And there's Commissioner Vizcarra and her bio. But when you click on the bio for Commissioner Jerry, there's no bio. It's a blank page. There's nothing there. I'm sure you agree that this is anomalous because Commissioner Jerry has been Commissioner Jerry now for 2.5 years, and we still don't know anything about him. He's a black box, a blank page. Well, as a curious individual, I decided to check out his Facebook bios and his LinkedIn bio.
Sir, I'm just going to stop you for a moment. If you can just refrain from using names.
Right.
And then I'm sensing something right now.
No.
But we do not attack anyone on this commission.
not.
Everything is directed towards me.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So I checked out those bios and discovered that said individual graduated from Queens College in 1974. So, okay, it's something. I'm
sorry, Mayor, how is this not talking about somebody? How is it not talking about an individual?
Okay.
I'm talking about a problem.
We're not going to go back. We're not going to be forward.
This is appropriate.
I'm talking about a problem here in our city.
So
And
we're not going back and forth. Please continue. But Marlene, can you turn the timer on, please? Oh, I'm sorry. I see. Okay, thank you. Just let me know. Sorry, go ahead.
So I went about and obtained a yearbook for 1974 for the seniors graduating that year. And imagine my surprise when that individual was not there. I thought it must be a mistake. So what to do? I called up the Office of Alumni Affairs there, and I asked them. And they said they have no record of him, never heard of him. I'm sure there's a legitimate explanation for all this. I can't imagine what it is. I'm sure there is one. I'd like to know. I think the voters of Sunny Isles would like to know. It's a little strange that after 2.5 years, we still don't know a thing about this person.
Okay, sir. I'll make sure that the bio is updated. Okay, please wrap it up.
So we just want to know. I want to know who is the man behind the mustache. You know, inquiring minds want to know, and hopefully we'll see a bio there on the website very soon.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Impressive.
Next speaker, Alex Kushner, please.
And you'll lead your words.
Please. Alex, your name and address for the record, please. And Marlene, thank you.
My name is Alex Kushner, 210 174 Street, and I live in Sunny Isles since 2004. Okay, I came to talk about a couple different items, but I want to start, okay? Thank you, Isaac. Well, I want to start to thank Commissioner Jerry Joseph, because I believe the guy deserves to be a commissioner, because if you have any problem, okay, if you have big problem, and you go to Jerry Joseph, he will try to put his heart, okay, to settle the problem. I had a problem. I spoke to Alex, who's my neighbor.
All right.
I spoke to you.
Who we just
Huh?
we're not going to name anyone.
Okay, I'm
please,
not going to
please.
name. I spoke to somebody else, okay? I spoke to commissioners, okay? They promised to me to help. In Russian, you have, you say, обещанного 3 года ждут, okay? You can wait for 3 years, for the solution. But what I'm trying to say about this gentleman, okay, Jerry Joseph, he takes everything to his heart and he trying to help people. This is how I feel, okay? And I want to thank him. Before I talk about something else, about what you talked about the anti-Semitism, why you not making a anti-Semitism task force that will give a recommendation to the city manager? Because if he makes a decision against somebody, okay, he need to make a decision. Task force need to give him a recommendation, to do this. This is my opinion. But I appreciate you guys going to the global problems when we have a lot of problems. We are a small city, and we have a lot of big problems in a small city, okay? Number one, we have a lot of counter-vote fraud, okay? We don't have a task force in the city to go and check out, okay, about this fraud. We don't have a task force to protect the senior citizens, okay? The abuse is going on daily basis, nobody doing nothing. Nobody doing nothing. And on a friendly note, okay, next time, if somebody from the city, officials going to Israel, why we don't do a fundraiser, okay? I'm talking about it's a lot of people. I check.
Alex, wrap it up, please.
Huh?
Your time is up.
Okay.
Just finish up, please.
I check, Channel 9 in Israel, and, they are really struggling. And I believe a lot of people will help, and what I'm trying, when you go to guests, it's nice to go with a present. And I will be one who will contribute to this.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Al.
Do we have any more public speakers? No? Okay, with that, all right, let me just get clarification, because it's you can't go twice. I'm sorry. It does, you only have the 3 minutes. Yeah. You're going to have to wait. Thank you. All right, with that,
Mayor, before you adjourn,
yes, please.
when we finished the 3 p.m. meeting, at the very end, I mentioned that what we had talked about was an error. The thing about the order of in which the mayor, vice mayor, like the order in which, may I express what that issue is now so we don't lose a month?
Absolutely, please go ahead.
Okay. So we landed on mayor, vice mayor, the person who used to be the vice mayor, right? And then, we'll and I kept saying, right, that doesn't resolve number 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized that only works if you have multiple people who have been vice mayors. But in a situation where, let's say maybe only, like I was thinking about Lou Thaler, who was sitting in the audience, he was vice mayor forever.
Right.
And maybe you don't have other vice mayors in the commission. And then what do you do? And then you come back to the same problem, because you're not always going to have the same commission. So I think we should find something that's more generic, like mayor, vice mayor, and then you go by seat order, or then the seniority is not even an issue. Then you can go seat 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever.
What is your recommendation? What is it
That
you'd
would
like
be my recommendation.
So it would be seat 1, 2,
Mayor, vice mayor, and then you go by seat number.
starting with 1?
Yeah, but if 1 is already taken by mayor or vice mayor, then you go to 2, then you go to 3.
All right. So
that would be.
I'm
May I add something?
Please.
Because I wasn't present at the.
I know you were not.
So my thinking was that you go mayor, vice mayor, and then you go based on seniority.
Right, but you missed the conversation. Because
I did. That's why I'm saying
you
this
can't
is
go
my-
based on seniority if you have 2 people that were sworn in at the same time, unless you go on the person that was sworn in first.
You could do it that way.
You can do it alphabetical too, but I think that the seat numbers takes care of it.
Yeah, maybe it's seat number.
I think the seat number is fine. It makes it easier, so you don't have to look back and try to look at the video to see who was sworn in. I'm fine with that.
Okay. And I'll be last.
It makes you first anyway. So
Also-
there you go. There you go.
Wanted to ask a question. What happened during the school graduation that you gave out? Well, you were on the agenda to give out an award for creativity, for and then the principal of the school gave it out. So I was never called to give out the award.
It wasn't a city award.
It was not a city award, but if the mayor is not there, isn't the
know,
vice
it's
mayor
not-
supposed to represent the city?
It's not a city award.
But I thought that, okay, so we'll need to revisit that because I thought that if
No,
we
it's an
cannot.
award given personally by me. It's not a city award.
But the prior year.
But wait a second.
No, but I just want to know
We're
because.
getting off the
because I-
agenda.
I'm just trying to understand the process.
Yeah.
But that was the tie-in what Commissioner Stoiber had to,
Yes,
you weren't
yes.
here, but she brought it up at
Okay.
3 o'clock.
But now we're completely off the agenda. People don't know what we're talking about. So I'm going to adjourn this meeting and you can watch the video to.
I missed that part, so
Yes.
I'll watch.
All right. Thank you, everyone,
me a
for
link.
attending. All right. Meeting adjourned.